I don't understand why this doesn't work. These are just like basic internet things that always work in Chrome. Twitch randomly has issues in Firefox. I can't export videos. I can't export videos from Twitch in Firefox. It's just like, it's just a hot mess. I mean, this hand's great, right? Keep... Because Trinisphere with Chalice doesn't work how you think it works. Trinisphere does not make things cost 3 mana. It just, you pay 3 mana for them, but their converted mana cost is still what is printed on the card. So, that's not... I'm assuming you think if you put Chalice out and then... oh no, Valakuts. Everything I enjoy playing in Modern dies to 2 things. It dies to Valakut, and it dies to... it does. Man, is this the one Liliana the Last Hope too? Oh, we have 4 Liliana the Veils. Okay, I feel less bad. I was like, man, do we not have... Derp derp Titan Shift derp derp. We actually have a Titan Shift in the donation deck list queue, and I'm probably gonna have a hard time. Like, look at this hand. I can't, like, the people that can, like, play decks that keep hands like this, just, like, 7 pieces of mana, so, like, snap it off. Like, good lord. There are 3 Fulminators in our sideboard, so, like, we have an illusion of being able to beat this matchup. You draw something that you wanna play here? Weird. It's weird they didn't play the Valakut there. About Legacy lands. I really don't like Legacy lands. I think it's pretty poorly positioned. I think it has like a couple of good matchups and then a bunch of pretty rancid matchups, and I think its good matchups aren't even that good. Like, I was watching Jarvis. Jarvis was streaming testing the lands deck last night against the Miracles deck, and like he was just getting dumpstered game after game after game. It was rough to watch. Like, he was just testing with a friend, so they were like trying to see like how the matchup was, and based on what it saw there, it looked like the answer was just like terrible. What's going on, myself? And I just assume, like, in 2 turns, my opponent's going to play a Titan and we're going to die. But until then, we're going to put 1 and 2 power creatures into play and pretend like we have a chance. Rude. Rude. You think it's pretty much the same. I think the best put scary things into play deck in Legacy currently is the mono red sneak attack deck. No, so I've realized that my being aggravated with Modern was just like my mindset was in the wrong place, and just if I just accept that like this is a matchup where we're 10% to win, and if we get it, great, and if not, we just roll on with our lives. It's whatever, you know? I didn't spend my money to play this league, so if we just get dumpstered by bad matchups, it's not my fault, and I'm not out anything. So it's A-okay, really. I promise we won't be upset. Just it is what it is sometimes. There's some really genuinely interesting and great games of Magic that happen in Modern, but there's also a lot of games that happen on the opposite end of that spectrum. So they have Forest, and then 1 card we don't know, so hopefully not Titan or Scapeshift. Why did I turn down commentating for Nerd Rage? It just wasn't worth the money for the amount of work it was going to be. They don't have a very large budget. And just like the amount of investment that I was going to have to put in for the amount of money in return is just like the amount that they were going to have to pay me to make it worth my while just like wasn't worth it for them. like commentating. It's escape shift, of course. I like how they tapped all their lands. Like I could possibly do something here. I think burn in Legacy is very bad. I think there's a reason why you saw Patrick Sullivan play not burn at the last Legacy team event where he played Legacy. Alright, that's real clean. These Collective Brutalities are like fine. They're, like not exciting, but they're fine. Last Hope's pretty terrible. Nihil Spellbomb can go. I think the one Bauble's fine. Do I want this Murderous Cut? Like, the question I have to ask myself is, like, how many games can I win post-Titan resolving? Scavenging Ooze doesn't do much, right? Yeah, I mean, I didn't, oh, this extra brutality should be in my deck, too. I didn't dislike commentating. Like, I enjoy commentating, but just, like, for the amount of money that they had for me to spend like a day and a half or 2 days of my life. Oh, I didn't cut the Spellbomb. Whoops, thank you. I'm just talking and clicking at the same time. The amount of money that I would have to get, like, versus just streaming for the day. Like, Decay kills Prismatic Omen. Most of these decks play Prismatic Omen, so I think I want to leave Decay in. Decay also pushes... Decay can also be used as a burn spell in some situations, because it'll push Sakura Tribalder out of the way. I mean, Legacy's a lot like Modern. Also, what was the last Legacy Open? How did Keith finish? Like, last time I saw Keith play a challenge with lands, he went like 4-3, which is pretty mediocre. Is Modern better than Hearthstone? I don't know. I've never played Hearthstone. Can't form an educated or informed opinion on that, so I'm not going to. Thoughts on Sultai Fae? I mean, that doesn't sound like an actual deck, so it's probably terrible. I don't know. There's a lot of people that enjoy Hearthstone. There's a reason why it's very popular. Like, Magic players like to shit on things that aren't Magic, but it's okay for people to like different things, I promise. This is as good as it gets, right? We've got, like, Bob into Fulminator with a discard spell afterwards. I mean, like, I top 8'd a bunch of events with Kiki Cord. It didn't mean Kiki Cord was good. It meant I liked the deck and I played it a bunch and was good at playing it. And, like, Eternal formats are, like, generally filled with people that just, like, aren't very good at Magic. Just like, I remember when they started talking about, like, the Legacy Pro Tour, the team event with Legacy at the PT, and people were like, I'd much rather have a Legacy person be on my, a Legacy person on my team rather than LSV or PV. It's just like, no way. People like LSV and PV are gonna, like, pick up Grixis Delver and dumpster people. Are you planning to play more Epic once it's released digitally? I am, Naz. In fact, I am fully intending to try and qualify for their Epic Digital 50K or whatever it is next summer. Once they have the details for that, I plan to participate in that to the best of my ability. I kickstarted that game and have a bunch of event tickets coming for it. I really like Epic's gameplay a lot. No, I think there's a lot of people that only play Eternal formats in games like Magic, and they just hone in on playing one deck, and they're not, like, actually very good generic Magic players. They just play this one deck, and they're, like, kind of good at memorizing lines, so they've played this deck enough that they've memorized all the possible play patterns with that deck. Another Fulminator Mage. That's so good for me. I'm gonna fetch a basic Swamp here, just so... Yeah, they posted at their last Worlds they're going to have a digital tournament with a sizable amount of money. What is Epic? Epic is a living card game. It's actually a lot of fun. You can buy into their alpha now. It's designed by Darwin Castle and Rob Doherty, who are... Castle's a Hall of Famer. I'm not sure if Doherty's in the Magic Hall of Fame or not. But the gameplay... Yeah, the digital is still in alpha. I intend to play more once it comes out of alpha. The gameplay, Epic is probably the lowest variance card game I've ever played, which is a lot of fun. And the living card game model is kind of fantastic. If you're not familiar with the living card game model, it means you just pay one flat fee and get a playset of every card. So like to get into the Epic Digital Alpha, it's $20. And then that gives you playsets of every card, and you can do Dark Draft, which is a one-on-one limited format, as much as you want with friends. Like, it's very, like, the gameplay is good, and the sales model for how buying and selling the cards works is just excellent. We Angers of the Godding, my Bob. Yeah, the alpha is great. If you're looking for something to pick up, also Epic works on your phone, so if you're looking for something fun to play on your phone, would 10 out of 10 recommend some Epic. Game's great. If you're bad at TCGs, you're going to find Epic really frustrating. I lose a lot while playing Epic because it is very skill-based. It is super low variance. So if you're someone who's not good at card games, would not recommend Epic. I think their website's just like epiccardgame.com. They have a paper version too. They're working on a digital client. The digital client's really slick too. It has an asynchronous gameplay mode where you can like start playing a game on your computer and then pick it up later on your phone or vice versa. It's not in the App Store because it's still in testing. So you have to go to epiccardgame.com and buy access to the alpha, and they manually add you. It takes a few days. I mean, like, you're fully welcome to Ghost. Hey, look, I found a use for one of these Abrupt Decays. And we know they have escape shifts, so let's just take that out of their hands here. I'm not using this Fulminator Mage yet, because I would like to get in some points of damage with it until we're in danger of doing something. We have a bunch of lands and escape shift deal. I've streamed a little bit of Epic. If you want to see what Epic's like, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is linked in my stream information, and check that out there. Getting close to Stormcrow level. Hey, I mean, Stormcrow pitches to Force of Will, right? So, like, let's not crap on Stormcrow. Oh, I like that idea, Dino. I like that idea a lot. Bad K command to buy back Fulminator Mage. 10 out of 10, 100% agree. Thank you for the positive and useful suggestion. Hey, Wanapus Rex with the brand new $4.99 a month subscription. Thank you very much and welcome. As always, subs are the best way you can support my content here. So if you really appreciate what I do and you want to help me do this more often, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I don't know. And one of the things is, I think Epic definitely suffers from just not having enough data. So, like, if there is something that's much better than everything else, they don't have enough tournaments to, like, let us really know that. And at this point, there's no reason to Fulminator them. Just immediately punished for having spent my Abrupt Decay as a shock. Have I tried Gwent? I've not tried Gwent. Gwent doesn't run on Linux last I checked, and I just like wasn't willing to install Windows to try it. They have nothing worth Thoughtseizing, right? Because like anything worth Thoughtseizing, they'd have cast. Thanks. Well, I appreciate that. And sometime in the not too distant future, both my children will go to school, and then I'm gonna be looking into doing this full time. We knew they had lands in their hand. Yeah. Oh yeah, we know their card Cinderglade. Yeah, derp. It's literally right there, right? And now we're just hoping my opponent's deck that just has lands in it draws lands for the next 4 turns. Would be ideal, right? Hopefully my opponent will be able to build a house with all of their bricks when they're done here. Please fetch again. Please fetch again. This first fetch is fine. The second fetch is really terrible. Yep, opponent takes the good line. They shouldn't crack the second fetch because it takes a turn off the clock. I think fetching once there is fine. They need a piece of action, right? And like 7 and 8 are kind of the same thing on this board. We have 3 Treetop Villages. Yeah, the fetch to thin is like very minor, but like it's like a fetch that like doesn't have a downside, right? Is this a sudden shock? Is this a Kozilek's return? Smells like Kozilek's return, right? Beast Within. Holy crap. That's a tilt. Alright. Well, kill that one, I guess. Your move. Well played, opponent. Well played. Quite excellent. My Grey Ogre has destroyed your land and has gone on to a better place. I no longer know the last card in their hand. Please draw something that kills me so I can concede. Like escape shift. Yay! God, I love Twitch chat. Why didn't you Fulminator Mage his basic land in response? Why didn't I Fulminator Mage the basic land in response? I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one, Twitch chat. While we're waiting for the next match to pop, I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your day here with us. My name is Jeff Hoagland. We're hanging out playing some Modern this afternoon, playing some Abzan Midrange as a donation deck list. If you're enjoying what you see, please make sure you hit that follow button. It doesn't cost you anything, helps that people find my content. If you're really enjoying what you see and help support me a little bit past that, the best way you can do that is by subscribing on Twitch. Subscriptions help support me financially so I can do this more often. Cheesy Pie Gaming with the brand new $4.99 a month subscription. Thank you very much. Do like Cheesy Pie Gaming if you enjoy what you see here. Thank you, and welcome. If you enjoy what you see past that, you can also support my sponsors. We're all Magic players. You're probably going to buy some of this stuff at some point anyways. So if you're going to buy MTGO cards, do it with mtgotraders.com. They will save you 8% on your orders there if you use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats, mouse pads, sleeves, binders. They really do it all. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they have on their website. Actually, I have one of their binders hanging out here. It's kind of neat. Look at that. It's got my face on it. It's got my face on the back. And finally, SpareDeck.com. They offer kind of a unique service. SpareDeck will rent you any physical, standard, or modern deck. Let's say you want to try something like this Abzan mid-range deck, but you don't own all these cards. You can rent it from SpareDeck for a weekend or up to an entire month. Kind of try it before you buy it. When I traveled a lot for the Open Series, I used SpareDeck a ton so I could change standard decks and modern decks on the regular. Sounds great, right? Inquisition you on 1, Dark Confidant on 2, have a space of spot removal. I think Green Black Tron's a great deck. I think Green Black Tron, Grixis Shadow, and Storm are probably the 3 best. If someone put a gun to my head and said, you have to pick the 3 best decks in Modern, Jeff, go, I would say Grixis, Death Shadow, Green Black Tron, and Storm. Alright, my opponent has played a turn 1 Goblin Guide, and I'm just like regretting my decision to put Dark Confidant in my deck. At least this is an Inquisition and no Thoughtseize. I actually don't have a second piece of removal here, so I feel like I'm supposed to take this Monastery Swiftspear out of their hand. Spear out of their hand, just throw another piece of removal. No, we don't do paper magic anymore. Doing the paper magic streams is approximately twice as much work as doing an MTGO stream, and they're half as popular. So it's just like paper magic makes for crap quality content. It's very hard to view the cards. It's better testing and from like a quality testing standpoint, but like I don't really play paper events much anymore, so like I don't really need to formally test for things. What are the odds they attack in with this Goblin Guide next turn? I'll try and trade Bob for this. I'm not feeling okay. It's the tail end of a cold, so apologies for being a little bit sniffly and, and snorty. No! Conceding when Bob does 3. Only did 2. Gotta keep playing. Bobby! There better be a basic plains in my deck. I'm a filthy net decker and I didn't look. I'm assuming there's a basic plains in my deck. Incoming Murderous Cut off of Bob. Yep. And like I enjoyed doing the paper streams. Like hanging out with the guys was fun. It's just so much work. There's no basic plains in my deck. There's no basic plains in my deck. All right, it's good beats. Good beats. This there's no hate for burn in the sideboard either, right? We've got like 3 brutalities and that's it. We did. Alright, I think we're bringing in Thrun the last troll because we have enough cards to cut. Dark Confidant out, Thoughtseize out. How do we feel about Nihil Spellbomb versus Fulminator Mage? I think it's actually Fulminator Mage that comes in. Little did I know that Mr. Duke has no respect for burn. Little did I know. I'm gonna cut these Lingering Souls and just not need white mana. Those are actually the only white cards in the deck, right? It's actually like green, black, splash, souls, and stony. Let's do this. Thrun's a 4/4 that doesn't die to removal. I'm gonna need you to shut your mouth about Mr. Thrun. He's a good guy. He's just the last troll trying to get by in a world where none of his people remain. I'm gonna need you to cut him some slack, okay? Yeah, there's also no paths in this deck. We're a Fatal Push, so like Fulminator Mage can let us steal games against a burn player that keeps a Landlight hand. Reed just draws the brutalities, right? Yeah, I actually boarded the second Spellbomb in, because like it cantrips, it makes our Goyfs bigger. Include one worship. God bless you, Twitch chat. You make me smile with how stupid you are. Man, Everybody else is cubing today. The magic channel is me, then cube, 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 cube. Then you get to modern. Honestly, like, I like this approach here. Like, you can't sideboard to beat everything in modern, which is why these fair decks tend to be a little bit medium minus in big open fields. So like, you know, the way this sideboard is constructed, it's identifying I want to attack big mana decks and I want to attack decks where Stony Silence is good. So like this package, these 6 cards probably makes you a not instant concede to, say, what's the card I'm thinking of? Makes you not instantly concede to like Thrun. I think Grafdigger's Cage isn't in a great spot necessarily, so look at my Tarmogoyfs that are smaller than these Goblin Guides. Just no land in sight. A tilt. What a tilt. Well, the good news is this Fulminator Mage is going to be decent. It's the good news. If we hit a black source, this Fulminator Mage should take them off their only land. I guess Cage is good against Storm, huh? Ah, Stone Rain you. Should have seen that one coming. Yep. All right, seen them brick for a little bit here. That's a swamp. Opponent probably auto-passed and went to do something else, not expecting to be asked to make a choice. Temur Moon's pretty terrible. Opponent's deck is great. Like, I know I just listed what I said were the 3 best decks in Modern, what I felt were the best decks, but I think Burn is pretty close to that. Burn and Affinity are, like, always decks that are pretty close to the top. I'm gonna take their Deflecting Palm here. I guess they get a white source here. We're actually going to lose this race, right? Get like Inspiring Vantage. Yep. Oh, I get to just decay my Liliana, right? Yeah, getcha. Woo! All the line. And that Hogland, he's so smart. Did the math. Did the math. Alright, we could have also just minus my Liliana, right? Put her to 0. Decaying it was classier, though. I feel like decaying my Liliana kind of classed the joint up. Hey, Fulminator Mage won us that game. We have a Fulminator Mage in our opener. God, this hand would be so good if one of these was a land. Nice Twilight Mire, idiot. Oh, this hand's really bad. Do I mulligan this? It has no fatal push, and it has to take damage from these lands. Am I supposed to mulligan for a fatal push or Inquisition on the draw? I feel like I am. Do I have to keep this? I feel like I lose to most of the reasonable sevens with this hand, right? Alright. I mean, this hand's better than the last one, right? Get that. Already unmulliganed me once. God bless. I only have one land again. For us. It's unfortunate it's not a non-basic this time. I don't know. This is a donation deck list. I'm playing a deck list card for card that someone submitted. I believe they net decked Reed Duke. So when you don't have experience playing a particular deck, you should always defer to the expertise of people who are smarter than you. And Reed Duke is certainly smarter than I am when it comes to building decks like this. What do you got? You got Deflecting Palm, a bunch of Boros Charms, a Searing Blaze. Oh, I should have cracked a fetch land, right? Yeah, I punted. I have to take this Searing Blaze, right? Yeah, I have to take this Searing Blaze. No, wait, this was a 3/4? Did I have to do that? Oh, I had a creature there? Maybe that's not true. I guess if they had a white source, I could Fulminator them off it, right? Do we have a chance to win this game? Like, we might have a chance to win this game. It's not counter chickens or anything here. I wonder if they're gonna Rift Bolt the Fulminator Mage. Yeah, the Treetop's very good here. I think they're supposed to kill the Fulminator Mage. Yeah, they correctly assessed. Looking to dodge Inspiring Vantage here. Opponent concedes the match. Alright, got him. Got him! Ha! Remember, folks in chat, it's not that you have to mulligan. Mulliganing is a bonus. It's a privilege. You get to mulligan. If you look at your opening hand and go, how does this hand win the game? And you can't answer that question. You can't like draw up a sequence that makes this hand good. Don't keep it. Mulligan, go lower, especially in a format like Modern. Games of Modern tend to be really brutal and fast, so the cards you're keeping in your opening hand are really important because you're not going to get to see that many cards most games. Like, the opening cards you start with are probably half or more of the cards you get in a lot of games of Modern. Another burn deck. Tilt. You should also work on winning your die rolls in Modern. Winning die rolls is excellent. This hand goes from being insane against burn on the play to just being like kind of mediocre on the draw. God, if we'd have been on the play. Alright, so we get to take Eidolon here. Eidolon is going to deal damages to us. We'll take that. It also puts bunch of stuff in the crypt for this. So we're going to 16. We're going to 7. We're going to 6. We're going to 5. Goyf kills quickly. Tarmogoyf into play. Maybe there's a world where they send 6 at Tarmogoyf here. That's probably actually bad for us, right? Because like it takes our clock off the table. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up Abrupt Decay because of that. Nope, just going at my face, deal. Yeah, Lingering Souls in the main deck, and then, what's it called in the sideboard? We got Stony Silence in the sideboard. Position you, see what you got. So you're saying there's a chance. Looking at me and telling me there's a chance. I'm just going to spend this Abrupt Decay now. I'm not going to give them the option to block. So what? We need 3 bricks out of them in 4 draw steps. The last card is Vantage. And again, like, holding this back to block creatures isn't where you want to be in life. Plus here. Oh, we finished 5-0 in the Saheeli League. All right, just need a brick out of him. One lander creature, which is pretty good. I did not think we'd be this close this game, right? Especially being on the draw. So if we don't on the play, we'd have been pretty well off, right? Yep, dead. Good beat. Let's find out the answer to these questions and more. Read my article. I feel like the only thing I feel a little bit wanting is I wish I had a 4th Brutality in the board here. I had a 4th Brutality in the board. Other than that, this seems okay. These pulses might be worse than Lingering Souls. It's probably the case. So we're 1-1 in this league. We're down a game in this 3rd match. We dropped a match to Valakut Titan. We beat Burn last round. We were pretty close to beating Burn that game. The Burn player we beat last round got kind of a mix of like unlucky and like bad keeps. Yeah, Brutality's great. It allows you to like buy a lot of tempo back against them. Yeah, I agree, Dino. If you have a fast Tarmogoyf, usually not too much of a dog. The fact that this green-black deck is, like, mostly just a green-black deck and doesn't have to, like, take a bunch of damage from its mana is nice. This is just not good enough. Nothing till turn 3. Seems fine. Yeah, that actually makes for a really good top deck for us, right? By that I mean we're fetching it away. I guess if our opponent doesn't play something to Fatal Push, I'm not going to fetch. Is that true? No, I'm probably going to fetch Godless Shrine. They probably have something that's attacking us and I need to Fatal Push anyway, so like, whatever. But like, if they throw a Rift Bolt... Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need a basic Plains by any stretch of the imagination. I ended up putting them in over the Maelstrom Pulses Sphinx because I just want to be able to kill them. I think killing my opponent is valuable. So I'm going to fetch this. I'm going to fetch a white source tapped with this, and then we can fetch a green source with this, and then play these next turn. I mean, we were still losing that game where we didn't have a basic plane, so like, I don't think that result would have been any different. I'm going to fetch white-black here. Godless Shrine tapped. Fetch basic forest with this. No, I don't think so, Ryan. I think I'd rather do this, so that way I can set up the tapped land to get my Lingering Souls going. Yeah, I think Lingering Souls is fine. You're not wrong, Dwight. Just gonna jump here. Huh. We're definitely doing that. Yeah, I think I just do this and edict them. Then, like, next turn, I can plus this, bin this, flash both back. Like, maybe we can race here a little bit. Hey, Yellow Hat with the host. Welcome to folks coming over from the Nasif's channel. We're hanging out playing some Modern this afternoon. Round 8. We're just gonna die to triple Boros Charm. Path's Exile, okay. It's a shame we haven't drawn any of our Fulminator Mages. That would be excellent here, right? They're dead in 3. We're probably dead in 2. Yep. I mean, like, we've talked about this before when you're playing against Burn in Modern, right? Like, if you could pick a deck where, like, you draw exactly 2 to 3 lands and never draw another land for the rest of the game, like, Burn is unbeatable when it does that, right? I assume we're just dead when they untap here. So. Okay. I'm not dead yet. You will be soon, Grandpa. You will be soon. Alright, let's play this and cantrip it. Three-land Burn's the best deck in Modern. I agree. It's very, very good. God, I hope their last card's another Maelstrom Pulse or the Path or something like this that's just terrible. That would be so good for us. Probably something that kills us, but, you know, we can dream. Chip in a chair and all that jazz. Should cantrip first because brutality. That's true. I, like, don't mind discarding this Temple Garden. Kill me? Kill me? Kill me! God bless us, everyone. I don't think that's true. I don't think the Eternal Mulligan system really favors anyone too heavily. Burn decks are usually a third lands in Modern. They're usually 19 to 20 lands. Like, the Eternal Mulligan system is so incredibly lazy compared to Hex's modified hypergeometric distribution. Like, it's so incredibly lazy. You have to, like, put this deck building restriction on people. Like, what if we do something sweet with the digital design space? Nah, man, let's just put cheesy deck building restrictions on. It's just like this. What if we? It's like the eternal modified opening hand is like. What if you asked a random like Hearthstone player why they hate Magic, how they would fix the opening hands? You'd be like, I just make sure you have some lands and some spells in every opening hand. Duh, it's easy that way. The Eternal Mulligan system is you only get to mulligan once, and every one of your hands is guaranteed between 2 and 5 resources in it. And because of that, to make sure people don't abuse it by building like small amount of resource aggro decks, they make a deck building restriction, so a third of your deck has to be resources. The Hex system is just far more elegant. For those that aren't familiar with Hex's system, they use a modified probability distribution to remove the 10% most resource light hands and 5% most resource dense hands that your deck could generate. So basically, if your deck is land light, it's still going to have a lot of land light draws. And if your deck is land heavy, it's still going to have a lot of heavy draws. And the way your deck constructed affects the distribution of your opening hands. That's, you know, an elegant way to reduce some of that opening hand variance. And also, you only get to mulligan once in Eternal. So, like, one of the things that was really frustrating in Eternal is there are a lot of times you'd get 2 unkeepable hands in a row. You'd be, like, playing a 2-color deck, and you're like, well, this hand has red cards and blue lands. And then you'd mulligan and be like, oh, this hand has blue cards and red lands. I feel like the digital design space gives you so many really neat things to do, and like Hex just was like did a really sweet way with it. Just yep, all right, Magic's fun. All right, digging for a basic forest. Digging for a basic forest. All right, that's a swamp. So I'm gonna. I don't think I want this fatal push, right? On top of my deck. But he was the way I was gonna find. We a Jund deck now. This is basically just like strictly better than Fatal Push at this point, right? Like holding an extra one of these means that they counter the first when we rip the forest. It's good for us. Tilt. Tilt. We just red black control currently. And this is why, like I want you to look at the mana base in this deck, right? Like, the mana base in this deck is really pretty conservative, right? This is a 2-color deck with a small 3rd color splash. Blood Moon doesn't punish greedy mana bases. It takes decks in Modern and says, hey, you don't get to play Magic this game. And that's, you know, that's what it is. Do I sit here and draw towards my 1, or do I just concede and move on with my life? I feel like I really just want to concede and move on with my life, right? All right, chat. How many draw steps do we take? How many draw steps? I don't think I want to take 9. How many draw steps? Post a number in chat how many draw steps we should take. If I get enough zeros, I'll concede. We'll move on. God bless y'all. That's more than enough zeros for me. This is the best part. Like, these are the games of Modern, like I mentioned earlier, that I find kind of frustrating. I'm like, when I'm playing with other people's money, we just like don't have to sit here and be miserable while we just like don't play Magic, right? And I would hit draw a card here to see how far away the forest is, but the draw a card button doesn't work currently because Magic Online is a quality piece of software. So I'm gonna board these Lingering Souls out. I'm gonna board this Thoughtseize in. I'm gonna board this Thrun in. I'm gonna board a Brutality in. Seems fine. This extra Nihil Spellbomb's probably fine too. No, we're playing Magic this afternoon. I'm probably not going to play more Hex on stream until the ladder season rotates. I don't want to risk tanking my ladder ranking with a couple of days out. On New Year's Day, we're going to do a long Hex stream because the ladder season rolls over. Brutality is probably not good enough. I guess they might not have a lot of creatures. I'm gonna trim 2 of these Fatal Pushes. Leave a couple. We don't know if they're Kiki whatever, or something else. What's worse, Bloodmoon or Staring Bridge? Both is the answer. I like that answer. And like, these games of Magic where like my opponent doesn't Blood Moon me out are probably very interesting, right? Like they're gonna have a lot of back and forth, or both of our decks are probably pretty interactive. What you got? Okay, so they're playing the Breach version. Okay. So this Fatal Push doesn't do anything. I'm glad I boarded half of them out. You drew a Zero Visions? What a fucking tilt. Oh, Magic's great. What are the odds we can beat them never casting another spell? Non-zero? I feel like the answer is non-zero. So like, they're on a 4-turn clock here? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Deck needs more Death Shadow. You're not wrong. Alright, chat. Beep, beep. Oh, what a tilt. And they haven't missed a land drop either. God, I really just don't want to play into these remands. I guess I have to. I guess I can go like Thoughtseize you, get remanded, Thoughtseize you, get remanded. Nope, I'm just doing nothing. Well, now I just take the Emrakul away, right? Now I'm just gonna take their Emrakul away. We conceded game 1 for simplicity's sake. Seven more turns of Shambling Vent. Shambling Vent for president. Shambling Vent for president. This also gets rid of the Lightning Bolt in their bin. So that way they can't draw Snapcaster Mage to kill my Shambling Vent. Shambling Vent's going the distance. He's going for speed. He's all alone in his time of need. We're racing and placing and plotting the course. Oh, you thought you were gonna get to cast a spell? No, opponent. This card is killing you in 7 turns. Enjoy your remands. The little Shambling Vent that could. Indeed. Bottom, bottom. That's what I like to see. Oh no! Oh no! They drew a Desolate Loot House. They drew a Desolate Loot House. What? Easily the best one of draw in their deck. Easily the best one of in their deck to draw at this point. To not leave them stranded with these remands. I feel like I'm committed to the Shambling Vent plan. Do I just play Liliana twice here? I feel like I'm like all in on this, like killing them with the Shambling Vent plan. Hey, Knight 666 with the 4-month subscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate that. Feel like the commitment to the vent plan is a sunk cost fallacy. Yep. All in, ship it. We like get through 2 of the problem is they just like see so many more cards if I let them remand. Hey, Mrs. Pear 92 with the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. I hope you and Mr. Pear are doing well this time of year. Oh, they're playing Breach. We saw an Emrakul in there. This Shambling Vent Knight, we go way back. He's seen some shit. It's Mrs. Pear, right? Mrs. Pear. I read that right. It's Mr. Spear. Nah, man. Look at the capitalization. It's M lowercase r lowercase s Pear. Mrs. Pear. Look, I'm really bad at usernames, but I'm pretty sure I got that one, okay? I'm pretty sure I got that one. Don't do that to me, chat. That's just rude. Oh, lordy. Look at what our creature land plan has wrought here. Just the lethalest Treetop Village. Just the lethalest Treetop Village around. Oh, baby. No, I'm wrong, right? This is only... I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I got so excited there. Man, could you imagine if this Fatal Push was a lightning bolt? Can we just like talk about for a minute like how good this would be as a lightning bolt? How dead my opponent would be. Yep. I'm really glad they banned Splinter Twin so my opponent could put Emrakuls into play. Emrakul is much easier to interact with than Splinter Twin, right? Alright, them's the beats. Look at that, 58-minute league. Let's get some more 58-minute leagues. Donation deck list will go real quick, 58-minute spot. Thoughts on Abzan? Would not play it. I don't really like decks like this. I don't think they're well positioned in Modern. I think the question you want to ask yourself if you're going to play something in Modern is this doing something objectively linear and powerful in some amount of its games? I think if you want to play something that's a little bit more interactive, you want to play something like Death Shadow or like the Saheeli Cobra deck we've been playing, where those decks are interactive, but they also have a nut draw. I wasn't dead there. I mean, we were basically dead. How many lands was I keeping? I was keeping 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess I could technically keep this. I technically could keep this and like draw. Were there lands coming? No idea. There's a button here. There's a button here that says draw a card, but it doesn't work because Magic Online. But you know, so we'll never know. But yeah, I guess we, technically speaking, we weren't dead. I think it's Jeskai Control. I think Jeskai Control is fine. I think it has Jeskai Control. And Harlan's in chat. I'm sure he'll back me up on this. Jeskai Control is the thinking person's burn deck. It is a glorified burn deck, and it's a fine control deck because it has the backup plan of bolt you, snap, bolt you, attack you with my 2-1 a bunch. Like that's why that deck is reasonable. All right, so Abzan mid-range. Let's cross that one off. Speaking of Jeskai Flash, you want to play Jeskai? We talk about playing Jeskai. Let's play the thinking man's burn deck, shall we? This deck's got Nimble Obstructionist in it, in sign me up. It's a solid medium. This is why Harlan's great. Just like the most realistic person. It's not great, but nothing else is great either, so it's fine.